Welcome back to the farm. Well, the cold has set in on us here. As you can see, we got some snow on the ground. Big problem we're having right now is our water is completely frozen. Now, we had water to the house yesterday, and I had to fill buckets and hand water the animals out on the farm. But today, we got nothing. So, trying to get a heat lamp run down to my spring house to try to thaw the line out. And of course, I don't have enough extension cord. They're being used other places. So I'm about to have to run out and see if I can get that sorted. So country living at its finest right here. All right. Well, I managed to get out of the drive, which is not looking too bad. It's pretty slick though. But if you can expose enough of it to get the rock showing, a little bit of sun will start melting it off. So I got an extension cord ran from the house that comes over, goes down the hill here. That's the spring house there. Whew, yeah, I've just been running up and down this hill. So as usual, I'm whooped. So truck said it was 19 degrees out. Little bit of a breeze today. It's getting the snow out of the trees, so which is good. Apiary back up here. Hopefully the bees are faring well. I'm about to grab another length of hose and pull it over here on some of this gravel and see if we can't get it thawed out. Because I do not want to hand truck water again today. Before I pull the hose over and start working on all that, let's talk about the pigs real quick. So I've seen a lot of chatter on the internet the last couple days because obviously this winter storm's blowing across the country. People really worried about their pigs, how they'll handle the cold. Now it's got down to I think 7 degrees last night. Last year we hit some negative temperatures, and the only issues I'm aware of, we had some friends who had a sow farrow during that really bad cold snap, and they lost all 10 piglets. And then we lost 2 piglets during that same cold snap. Ours were older. They were, oh man, they were old enough that we shouldn't have lost them. But if you have, more than one pig, or it's with other animals that'll, help keep it warm, or, even inside the barn is considerably warmer than it is outside, even though there's no heat or power up to our barn. And the little pig houses I have made, if you can see these back over here, these keep them just fine. I did have heat lamps on the piglets. They were actually in this house right here, and I think I had 2 heat lamps on them. They just didn't make it. Now with that said, I try not to farrow. Things happen. I try not to farrow pigs December through March. January, February tend to be our coldest months around here. March, April are hit or miss. The problem with March and April is you really start getting wet weather. But April is when I like to start any farrowing activity. But yeah, the coonies are going to handle this weather just fine. Make sure they have some bedding, make sure they can get the wind off of them. But, it's 19 degrees, they're out doing what pigs do. I see them out here eating the snow. They're animals. They're very hardy. The fat layer that they have definitely helps in this kind of weather. So if you're worried, don't get too crazed about it. I mean, keep an eye on your pigs. We're bedding them with wood chips and with straw and wood chips is what we're using for bedding. So they'll get in and snuggle up. And the pigs in the barn, I went in there the other night, and they're just piled on top of each other. So they know how to stay warm. All right, got the hose thawing here. So the other concern is if I can't get the water in the spring house thawed, I can't really say it's a concern. It's my concern because I got to do the work. But I'm going to be filling buckets down there in the creek, and then I have to haul them from the creek, to where the animals are at, way back up here at the top of the hill. not a good time. That's probably 40 feet of elevation there. May not seem like a lot, but it gets you. And there's not really a good place to access the creek, so I'm gonna have to be careful with that as well. What I need to do is get some kind of container that can fit in the back of the Kubota that I can just get an electric pump or something and fill up, and it just drive up and dump water. That would be the optimal way to do it. I'm just not set up to do that right now. Shocking. And just to be clear, I'm not filling buckets at the creek and hand carrying them up anymore. That's the reason, another one of the reasons we got the side-by-side, just to make that clear. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a 100-gallon container in the back of the side-by-side I could just fill up with an electric pump. But as far as hauling buckets, those buckets get filled, put in the back of the side-by-side, driven up, dumped, rinse and repeat until, you know, the animals have enough water to get them by. Got the water in the house thawed out, so now I'm hoping that this hose has been laying here long enough that I can get it hooked up and get some water flowing. It definitely feels like it should be warm enough to have thawed out. I'm gonna go ahead and get everybody fed, get water flowing. Water's priority number one right now. You know, don't think just because it's winter that they don't consume as much water, because I've noticed at times when it's cold like this, they'll drink more than they would if it's really hot out. So I got 2 lengths of hose thawed, which means I'm not gonna have to lug the buckets near as far today. Whew. Yeah, it feels like it's all of 20 degrees out here right now. Starting to get some water on these pigs. Getting ready to start hauling in the bucket. Make sure these boys got some water. The goose and chickens have some fresh water. See the sows up there, they're waiting. Whew. Yeah, they've been out a pretty good bit today. Breeze is picking up some. So they're calling for more snow Thursday night into Friday, another 2 to 5 inches, which is not good. But once again, this is not uncommon weather here. We have not had snow. I don't think we had any snow really to speak of last year. Just ice storms. So, I mean, this snow was not bad at all. This is nice and light, fluffy snow. So no big deal. Oh, I just wasted a trip up that hill. I could have filled this bucket with water. Come on, cows. I need to haul a little bit more water so there's more for the pigs and some for the cows to get into. It'd be nice if they'd come up here and eat on the fence. Whew. I need to get them a trough for out in the pasture. Come on, leave them pigs alone. Come on, mama. Come on. Come on. Get on in there. Come on, Mom. Help yourself, Katie. Come on, Mama, right there. Hold up. Come on, Mama. Come here, buddy. Come on. Come on, there's still some right over here. Come on. He's gonna eat it all. Get on up in there, get you some of that water too. Crazy cow. Yeah, these animals, they all do amazing in this weather. I mean, it ain't, you know, a great time. Anybody who's ever been out in the cold, I spent long enough in the military to know that, you know, you'll acclimate and you'll get to weather like, or get used to weather like this. And it's not near as hard on you as when you walk out of the warm house and got that wind cutting through you and all of a sudden you're freezing. So these pigs are adjusted to it. Good job, Meriwether. Get you a good long drink there. It is typical for it to get cold and snowy, but we don't see the water freeze very often. And like I said, when it happens, you know, I'm going to unhook these hoses. I hang them in a certain way so they completely drain. And it's one of those things that if you take a shortcut, you're going to pay for it. And I guess that's kind of what we got going on now. I think tomorrow it's going to get above freezing. So there's an opportunity for everything to thaw out and get good and soupy before we dip back down again Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think it's going to be in the 50s and maybe even into the 60s next week. Anyway, all right, everybody, y'all be good, stay warm, and we'll catch y'all again here soon.